In 2011, researchers at Texas A&M University discovered that a fruit we often overlook contains natural compounds that act very similarly to Viagra. Yes, you heard that correctly. A fruit, something you can find in nearly every grocery store, may have profound effects on blood flow, arousal, and intimacy. I'm talking about watermelon. Now, before you laugh, let's explore the neuroscience, the biochemistry, and what this really means for your love life. Because when you understand what's happening at the molecular level, you begin to see how one simple dietary shift could legitimately change the trajectory of your romantic and sexual health. Watermelon, a fruit commonly associated with summer and refreshment, harbors a compound that has garnered increasing attention in the fields of nutritional science and sexual health: citrulline. What makes citrulline particularly noteworthy is its unique effect on the vascular system through a specific biochemical pathway. When citrulline is ingested, it gets converted in the body into another amino acid called arginine. Arginine, in turn, becomes a precursor for the synthesis of nitric oxide, a gaseous molecule with powerful effects on blood vessels. Nitric oxide is essential for a process called vasodilation, which is the widening of blood vessels. This widening allows for increased blood flow throughout the body, including to critical regions that influence sexual function and performance. Enhanced blood circulation can support stronger erections in men and heightened arousal in women by improving sensitivity and responsiveness in erogenous zones. In clinical terms, it works much like some pharmaceutical treatments designed for erectile dysfunction, only it does so through a natural pathway using nutrients derived directly from food. This isn't merely speculative or anecdotal. Studies conducted at Texas A&M University and other research institutions have shown that watermelon, especially its rind, contains significant concentrations of citrulline. When consumed regularly, this citrulline can raise arginine levels in the body, leading to an increase in nitric oxide production. This means that something as simple as eating watermelon could influence one of the most important factors involved in sexual health: blood flow. The impact of improved circulation goes beyond just the reproductive system. Every organ, every tissue in the human body depends on adequate blood flow for oxygen and nutrient delivery. However, in the context of love and intimacy, circulation is especially vital. Sexual arousal is fundamentally a vascular event, particularly in men, where the ability to achieve and maintain an erection is dependent on adequate blood pressure and the ability of blood vessels to relax and fill specific tissues with blood. When these blood vessels are dilated effectively through nitric oxide, sexual performance and endurance may see noticeable improvements. Even more intriguing is the fact that many people suffer from mild circulation issues without even realizing it. Fatigue, cold extremities, and lack of libido can often be tied back to poor blood flow. A fruit like watermelon that can support vascular function naturally without the side effects of medications provides a safe, accessible way to improve this essential system. It's not just about sex, but about overall vitality, energy, and wellness, things that naturally influence confidence and attractiveness in a romantic context. Another benefit is that citrulline doesn't need to be taken in high concentrations to be effective. Regular dietary intake of watermelon, particularly including the white rind portion, which contains the highest amount of citrulline, can have cumulative effects on nitric oxide levels over time. This means that a simple, consistent habit like adding watermelon to your diet can lead to meaningful changes in blood flow and physical performance. Ultimately, what makes this key point so compelling is its simplicity. We often think of breakthroughs in sexual health as requiring medications or expensive treatments, but science shows that nature has already provided us with powerful tools. Watermelon, through its citrulline content, offers a natural, safe, and effective way to enhance blood flow, laying the foundation for a healthier, more energized love life. The role of blood flow in human health is critical. and its importance becomes especially evident when we consider sexual and emotional well-being. Blood flow is not just about delivering oxygen and nutrients to muscles during exercise or keeping our brains sharp. It plays a foundational role in arousal, physical intimacy, and even emotional bonding. When circulation is optimized, every system in the body functions more effectively, including those tied directly to our romantic and sexual experiences. Sexual arousal, whether in men or women, is fundamentally a vascular process. For men, the ability to achieve and maintain an erection depends on a series of events that begin with signals in the brain and culminate in the dilation of blood vessels that allow blood to flow into the penile tissue. For women, increased blood flow to the genitals enhances sensitivity and lubrication, both of which are vital for comfort and arousal. When blood flow is insufficient, these processes are weakened, often leading to dissatisfaction, frustration, or a decline in libido. What many people don't realize is that circulation-related issues are often the silent culprits behind a stagnant or unsatisfying intimate life. Nitric oxide, a molecule produced in the body through the metabolism of certain amino acids like arginine and citrulline, plays a central role in regulating blood vessel dilation. When nitric oxide levels are elevated, blood vessels relax, allowing more blood to flow through. This mechanism is at the heart of many medications designed to treat sexual dysfunction, but it can also be triggered naturally through nutrition and lifestyle choices. For example, as discussed earlier, watermelon is rich in citrulline, which can boost nitric oxide production and therefore improve blood flow. Improved circulation doesn't just support the mechanics of intimacy, it also influences the neurological and emotional dimensions. The brain, like any other organ, relies on steady blood flow to function properly. Enhanced blood flow to certain regions of the brain involved in mood regulation, reward, and bonding can improve our capacity to feel pleasure and connection. When nitric oxide levels rise, there can be a cascading effect on hormones and neurotransmitters like dopamine and oxytocin, which are directly linked to feelings of love, trust, and satisfaction. These neurochemicals not only elevate the emotional quality of intimacy, but also strengthen the sense of connection between partners. People often associate sexual performance with physical factors like stamina or energy, but what often goes unspoken is the role of psychological readiness. Performance, anxiety, self-doubt, and emotional disconnection can all dampen sexual experiences. When blood flow is improved and nitric oxide is elevated, people tend to feel more relaxed, more confident, and more in tune with their own bodies. This can create a powerful feedback loop. Enhanced blood flow leads to better performance, which increases confidence, which further enhances intimacy and desire. By targeting the vascular system in a natural, supportive way, you don't just affect one aspect of intimacy, you positively influence the entire experience. From the physical readiness of the body to the emotional openness of the mind, improved circulation is a central pillar in creating and sustaining a vibrant, connected, and fulfilling love life. It's not a miracle, it's biology working as it should. And with the right habits, this biology can become your strongest ally in improving both physical pleasure and emotional connection. The relationship between nutrition and neurochemistry is one of the most fascinating areas of science, especially when it comes to love, intimacy, and emotional connection. At the center of this relationship is nitric oxide, a molecule known not only for its effects on the cardiovascular system, but also for its powerful influence on the brain. What many people don't realize is that the same mechanism that helps increase blood flow throughout the body also affects brain chemistry in ways that can enhance emotional bonding, trust, and romantic connection. When you consume citrulline, rich foods like watermelon, your body begins a process that leads to the production of nitric oxide. While most people associate nitric oxide with improved circulation and sexual performance, its role in the nervous system is just as significant. Nitric oxide functions as a neurotransmitter in the brain. Unlike traditional neurotransmitters that move in a single direction across a synapse, nitric oxide diffuses freely through cell membranes and can influence multiple neurons simultaneously. This means it has a broad, modulatory effect on brain function, especially in areas associated with emotion and social behavior. One of the key ways nitric oxide influences intimacy is by stimulating the release of oxytocin. Often referred to as the love hormone, oxytocin plays a major role in building feelings of closeness and attachment between individuals. It is released during physical touch, eye contact, and sexual activity. Higher levels of oxytocin are linked to greater levels of trust, empathy, and emotional bonding. When nitric oxide levels rise, either through increased blood flow or through neural stimulation, oxytocin release becomes more efficient and responsive. This means that a person is not only physically prepared for intimacy, but also more emotionally attuned to their partner. This connection between nitric oxide and oxytocin suggests that the effects of certain foods and lifestyle choices go far beyond physical performance. When you support your body's natural nitric oxide production, you're also nurturing the pathways in your brain that foster deep emotional connection. This creates an environment where intimacy is not only more pleasurable but also more meaningful. You become more open, more emotionally present, and more capable of forming lasting, satisfying relationships. Additionally, nitric oxide also interacts with other brain chemicals such as dopamine and serotonin. Dopamine is involved in the reward system and is responsible for the pleasurable sensations we experience during positive interactions, while serotonin regulates mood and overall emotional well-being. By supporting the balance of these neurotransmitters, nitric oxide plays a subtle but powerful role in how we experience joy, connection, and emotional intimacy. In this way, a fruit like watermelon, through its impact on nitric oxide production, becomes more than just a nutritional source. It becomes a tool for emotional wellness. It enhances not only what happens between two people physically, but also how they feel about one another. The deepened connection, increased empathy, and enhanced pleasure are not accidental. They are biochemical responses that emerge when the brain and body are functioning at an optimal level. Understanding these mechanisms helps shift our perspective. Intimacy is not just about physical attraction or desire. It's also about creating the right biological conditions for emotional closeness. By supporting your neurochemistry through simple dietary choices, you lay the foundation for deeper, more meaningful love experiences. The mind and body are deeply connected, and when one is nourished, the other thrives. When it comes to improving health, especially sexual and emotional well-being, many people immediately think of medications, supplements, or costly treatments. However, one of the most powerful tools for transformation is often sitting right in the kitchen. Natural, whole foods that offer real biological effects without side effects. Watermelon is a perfect example of this. While it may seem like just a refreshing fruit, it contains compounds like citrulline that have been scientifically shown to support blood flow, hormone balance, and even mood regulation. The beauty of using something like watermelon as part of a health strategy is that it's simple, safe, and widely accessible. One of the greatest advantages of watermelon is that it provides these benefits naturally, without the need for synthetic chemicals or pharmaceuticals. The citrulline found in watermelon, especially concentrated in the white rind, helps the body increase its production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, in turn, relaxes and expands blood vessels, improving circulation throughout the body. Better circulation means improved physical performance, but also enhanced mental clarity, mood, and responsiveness in intimate situations. This isn't a quick fix or a stimulant. It's your own biology working more efficiently and in harmony with your natural systems. This method of improving well-being aligns with how the body actually wants to function. Unlike medications that often force a single outcome or block a specific receptor, natural nutrients support multiple systems at once. Watermelon doesn't just help one area, it boosts hydration, provides antioxidants like lycopene, supports cardiovascular health, and improves blood flow, all while being low in calories and easy to incorporate into a daily diet. That multi-layered impact makes it far more sustainable and holistic than isolated interventions. It becomes part of a lifestyle rather than a short-term solution. Another important point is that watermelon is available to nearly everyone. It doesn't require a prescription, and it's relatively affordable compared to supplements or medical treatments. This makes it an empowering choice, something you can control and implement on your own. There's a strong psychological benefit to taking charge of your health through food. It creates a sense of agency and motivation that contributes positively to mental and emotional well-being, which are just as important as the physical aspects of intimacy. Furthermore, by consuming whole foods like watermelon, you avoid the risk of negative side effects often associated with synthetic options. Many people who use pharmaceutical treatments for sexual performance experience headaches, flushing, or even cardiovascular issues. Watermelon, on the other hand, supports vascular function naturally, working with the body instead of against it. The risk of harm is minimal, while the potential for benefit is significant. This makes it a smart starting point for anyone looking to improve not just their love life, but their overall health. The idea that one fruit could change your love life may seem exaggerated at first, but when you understand the science, it becomes entirely reasonable. What you eat has a direct impact on how your body performs and how your mind connects. Watermelon is not a miracle, but it is a powerful, natural tool that can support real and lasting change. By choosing foods that nourish your systems from the inside out, you're not chasing temporary results. You're building a foundation for lasting intimacy, energy, and emotional vitality.